Hello, this is what I think about Sacramento, California. I was in Sacramento, California for like a month and a half or something. I was there for a pretty long time. I went there because it was on my way up north, and it's a big city, and I like big cities. It's a nice place. It's an affluent place. Most of the time I was in Sacramento, I was in the northern part. I guess suburbia you could call it, but it's still in the city, called Natomas. And it was at the Gold's Gym up there that I was going to every day. It was the place where I got the membership, and I could be there all the time. As many times as I went, they had really good internet, a movie room, and I could camp in my car like 1 block away from it in this huge village. And there was this, there's a Starbucks right down the way, a couple blocks, and then a Blockbuster that was giving me unlimited free movies for a whole month I was there. And then a supermarket there, and a Subway. And yeah, and it was like, but Sacramento, that part of Sacramento is a place where there's like never, it was kind of like Phoenix, is like never gridlock, you know, wide paved roads, and the downtown, and then I was in the southern part of Sacramento too, Elk Grove, for like a couple of weeks, and that seemed really affluent. And there was like big lakes everywhere, like in the neighborhoods that have like lakes right behind there. They could take boats out right behind their houses. That was really cool. And yeah, no traffic or anything. There are a lot of Mexicans there, and but there's lots of Punjabi there. There's like, and the Wikipedia said Sacramento, like in 2008, got voted best racially mixed city in America. Like the races are mixed well there, like affluent wise. And yeah, I saw lots of black people who had money there. Like black people like in the nice suburbs and driving nice cars. I saw lots of Punjabi, and not just in, I think in Elk Grove too, but in Natomas where I was like Punjabi Central. There was a dude working at the library who's Punjabi. Whole bunch of people at the gym I was working at, Punjabi. And I mean Punjabi, like they have the towels on their heads, towel heads, where they tie it in a certain way. I'd like to know how they do that. Maybe I could do that. And I know they're Punjabi because one of them had a t-shirt that says, "I am badass. I don't back down to anybody. I speak my mind. I am Punjabi." Yeah. I saw Punjabi at the disco. Lots of Punjabis. And then other Indians, other kind of like Indian people. But like, yeah, assimilated. Like not like they just moved off the boat. Like their parents moved off the boat or something. Like they speak like an American accent. Yeah, lots of Mexicans too. And downtown central area is a nice place. There's a river that goes right through there, a big river, and 2 big rivers come in. So it's a great place to like rowing teams and stuff. And the downtown is pretty, I didn't hang out there that much though. I was only there at the beginning. But there's this park there that's exactly a mile if you run around it. And then there's this other like old race track that's all exactly a mile if you run around it. When I went there, that's when I first started. I was like, that's the town I went to where I was going to try to exercise. And I exercised a couple days outside, but then I kind of got burnt out. And that's when I got my membership at the Gold's Gym. And, yeah, they have the Capitol building there. Oh yeah. And I shot video of it, but then somehow something happened to like all my good footage of Sacramento, and I lost it. But like so many statues of naked women around the Capitol building there, man. I don't know, like Arnold Schwarzenegger put theirs there or something. All over the place, dude. Up on the buildings around. But yeah, it's got its downtown area with a pedestrian mall and then like a library there. One thing I noticed is that it's kind of hard to find places to plug up. I guess old buildings or something. It's an old town, I guess. Maybe that's why it's the capital. But like in Starbucks and stuff, I had trouble finding places to plug my computer. But then I went up north and it was better. Didn't seem like the friendliest place though. Like people are way friendlier here than there. Like, you know, like I went to the gym and there's this bodybuilder girl who worked there, a trainer, and I wanted to ask her questions about like, I wanted to ask her if it was a good idea for me to drink protein powder throughout the night, like every 2 hours, because you can only absorb a certain amount, you know, 20 grams an hour, or 60 grams if it's isolated. But I was like, yeah, can I ask you a question? And she was like, you know, like, go, like, kind of like cold. And then she told me, and she's like, yeah, you don't want to eat after 3. And yeah, but then I talked to her a couple times after that, and she seemed kind of friendly. But then these other dudes at the gym, I go, yeah, man, I've been doing this thing where I was counting calories, and did you know that bananas are a really cheap way to get a whole bunch of calories, dude? Because they're so cheap and there's lots of calories. And there's 2 dudes who work there, and they both like looked at me like this. And I was like, okay, sorry I talked to you. And then one of them goes, bananas are fattening. I was like, okay. But like when I first got the membership there, the dudes who worked there, they were friendly. I was talking to them for like an hour, talking about my Kyle's Gym website. And I was like, yeah, so can I film? But then I asked the dude later, he's like, no, you can't film here because there's lots of like famous actors and stuff who are here. And they don't like to get filmed. And we actually had an issue just the other day. Somebody got busted just for having a cell phone because somebody thought they were filming with it. And I was like, damn. But like, yeah, there were a lot of buff people in the gym that I went to. So Sacramento is a big, you know, like Tucson is a big cyclist city. Austin is a big runners city, like runners everywhere. And I'll do a video about Austin. Sacramento is a big bodybuilder city. Like when I was in the gym down south in Oak Grove, I saw some big ass bodybuilders, male and female. And then in Natomas, it's a giant gym with like lots of trainers, you know, who are always working. They have the CrossFit exercises and stuff. Dude, I saw a bunch of huge dudes. There's one dude there who was like totally jacked. And I think he was a UFC fighter because I walked by him once and he was and he was like, yeah, because I'm going to go 5 rounds. Or he was talking about like him fighting. And then when he worked out, he'd be done with his set and then he'd do this. So I think he was like a pro UFC fighter and he had like tattoos all over the place and bald. And then there was these lots of huge bodybuilder dudes there. And there's this one girl there who was like total bodybuilder, like as big as any girl I'd ever seen. Like this, like I'm not into really big bodybuilders. They like freak me out. Like it's like no more women left. And when I saw her real life, I was like, oh my God, you're too big. I do like them when they're big and they're really young, you know, but like right before they get too big. But yeah, this lady was too big. And she was short though too. She was like 5'3". But she had a boyfriend who was also a bodybuilder and she had a kid. Because I saw her in there. But yeah, I saw lots of like huge dudes there. And women too. Lots of women who weren't bodybuilders, but like were buff. Like I saw this Asian girl. She was like Southeast Asian. Like 5'1". You know, like I could tell she was just like a professional lady, had a job, but she was buff. Like muscular, like totally buff. Yeah, so like that's like part of the culture there. It's just getting big. I mean, a lot of big ass people. I saw a really tall girl in the gym too. She's like 6'5". She's really friendly too. Because I held the door up and she's like, thanks guys. But then she never came back. So I don't know. She drove around in a late model Audi. So maybe she was like in a traveler's pass or something. But there was like, yeah, a lot of fitness. And then I saw that dude, Bill Ryan, if you're a new ager and you're watching this video from Project Camelot, I saw him in Starbucks a couple of times. And I saw him driving by in his car like twice. It's like this brown like sedan. And then him talking to some lady once and stepping out of like this one like restaurant twice. And once I kept bumping into him and I saw him once and he looked right at me. Like, cause he recognized me too. I was thinking about maybe coming up to him and being like, I made a video about you. But, I don't know. And then, what else? But yeah, it seems like, it was a cool place. I was in a good situation when I was there, basically. But I didn't really travel that much around it. Yeah, just got these two big rivers there. You can send like ocean ships all the way from the sea up this canal that I guess used to be a river that they turned into a canal that go out from San Francisco. And oh, and there's a super highway, like the big interstate, goes right next to downtown, like right through center downtown. First time I'd ever seen that. It's like that in Seattle even more though. I love Seattle. Although I'm going to do a video about it when I leave Seattle because I've only spent a couple days there, but I fucking love Seattle. Yeah, and then I left one day because I had to leave. But the dudes working at the Blockbuster were really friendly. Like, knew my name, were like, hey, they're like ultra friendly at Blockbuster too. But anyways, yeah, okay, 10 minutes. That's what I think about Sacramento. Oh, wait. I did have kind of a weird experience with this Mexican dude. I was on my computer in this restaurant, and I was the only one there. It was like this Mexican restaurant. And I had my computer plugged up to the wall because I was there because I was getting my battery charged at the Napa Auto Parts place. So, but I had my computer plugged to the wall, but it was like, the table wasn't next to the wall. It was like, you could walk between the table. And I'm typing away, and there's this Mexican dude in there, and he turns around, and he's like scowling at me, and like, "Ah, ah, 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 ah." And then I took off the earphones. I was like, oh, you're talking to me? And then he'd be like, and then you turn around. So he didn't want to talk to me. He just wanted to like yell at me, but he didn't want to yell at me with my earphones off. So I was like, this is weird. And then I noticed he was scowling at me again and talking to me, like looking right at me and like, so then I was like, okay, this dude's weird. Just don't pay attention to him. And then next thing I know, he walks right by me and like knocks the cord off my computer. And I thought, at first I forgot that I knew he was weird. And I was like, oh, it's cool. I thought he did it on accident. But then he's just like standing over me, scowling at me. And like, so he walked deliberately pulled it out of the plug. So I guess he was pissed off at me that I had my computer plugged to the wall. And we're a place where you could walk across. So I was like, okay, I'm getting the hell out of here. So I left right then. And then my battery happened to be charged then too. So that worked out. But it was like, damn, dude, gangster. Looked like a gangster with his friends in there. But, yeah, so it wasn't like the friendliest place. But it seemed like there were lots of people with money there. And there were, and people seemed like happy. It seemed like a cool, affluent place. Like the Punjabi dudes looked like they had money. The good gyms I went in were fucking posh. Movie theaters in both of the ones. Multiple televisions in the locker rooms. Combo locks everywhere. Yeah, but like it was like I was in the future when I was there. Because it was like perfect mix of all the races. Like there weren't any more white people than any other race. And when there were the other races, I could tell they were a mix of white and other races. It was like half Latino, half white, half Asian, half white, half Asian, half Latino. Like, yeah, all kinds of different races and people there. All like hanging out with each other, you know, not like in their own little groups and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, Sacramento seemed like a cool place. And then I left. Okay.